Dave Abrams.
And I'm Kristin Lagana. Welcome to Anne Arundel County Week in Review. In this episode, we'll hug some trees with Chesapeake Bay Trust, and we'll show you how to get some Narcan training. But first,
Wait, Kristin, wait a minute.
What?
I have to stop the show. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we have something way more important than the news.
Are you kidding me?
It's not puppies, and it's not kittens.
Well, then I don't want to hear about it.
It's footage of the Bay Bridge in Annapolis from a helicopter. Roll it, Chuck.
Okay.
I'm sorry, how amazing is this?
This is pretty cool.
Look at the beautiful sunset. Look at the sun. Look,
that's amazing.
Can you believe that?
I can't even, Dave. I
Right,
cannot even.
Right. So this is all just a shameless plug for our next round of police department recruitment videos. The police department will be hiring new police officers starting August 23rd. And we found out there's an aviation unit. Who knew?
I did not
right?
know. Yeah.
So if you have an aviation unit, you got to go up and you got to check it out.
Pretty awesome.
So
Pretty
August
awesome.
23rd, I'm sorry to interrupt your show. Please carry on.
My show.
Yes.
Our show.
It's your show.
Is it
Really
okay
your
if I
show.
do the news now?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll just sit here and be quiet.
That's what I like when you know what to do, Dave.
I'm zipping it. I'm zipping it.
We took our first journey into Facebook Live for an online town hall about heroin addiction, and it was a smash hit. This week, 2 young people in recovery joined Not My Child Captain Nancy Shrum to deliver some candid observations about their struggles with drugs and how they've gotten clean. Brandon and Jen are both Annapolis natives, and they could still be answering questions from the audience if we didn't have to close the live feed. Here's a clip.
Kelly's asking, do you believe that there is hope for any addict who struggles with substances?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
can
think
come
big
back.
yay.
Right? You can
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
back from anything.
There is, yes.
There is hope in recovery. There is.
Yes. Oh.
And it goes back into how we were growing up. Like, we have all this pressure from society, right? And our own demons to fight, and our own shame and guilt, or whatever it is keeping us, piling drugs and alcohol on top of our issues. But what recovery has given to me is a new perspective on my life and my problems, that I can come back from anything, that even no matter what happens, it'll be okay as long as I reach for recovery instead of a drug or a drink. And that's been my hope, that there is always hope in recovery, but there will never be hope for me in drinking or using drugs.
If you missed the live Q&A on Facebook, no worries. We've got you covered. You can either go to our page, facebook.com/myannarundel, and watch the archive video, or you can watch it on YouTube by searching for Arundel TV. But there's more, Dave.
There's more?
There's more. This was the first of 5 episodes.
Wow.
Next week on Tuesday, August 15th, our experts will be from the treatment side, and they'll be online at 9 a.m. for a full hour to answer your questions. Please join us for this very important program. This was really gripping stuff, Dave.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you. It was a little nerve-wracking because, whenever you're dealing with, let's call it live television,
Yeah.
okay? If you're doing the Tonight Show or an award show, you've seen the things that can happen.
They say anything goes, and the show must go on.
Something really bad will happen, and you just have to kind of go with it. But this went really well. We had over 100 people online at any given time.
Fantastic.
Participating. More comments than I think I've ever seen on it. Well, we have some that did maybe a little better, but so many comments, so many people on there, so much good interaction between the people. So the way Facebook Live works, just for those of you who haven't seen it before, is you're watching live video and you can in real time type a question.
You're interacting.
And they will see the question come up and they will answer it for you in real time. So it's almost like you're all sitting in the same room. It's a lot of fun, and I think people enjoyed it. So we're looking forward to the next one. And we hope you guys will check it out, so we have even more people next time.
And kudos to Brendan and Jen.
They were awesome, really poised. I'm not going to say kids, young people. They're very poised and very brave. It's brave to talk about this. I mean,
that's what I mean.
I don't think
Kudos.
I'd have the guts to talk about something so deep-seated family kind of stuff.
And maybe unrooted some misconceptions about what it looks like someone who uses heroin.
They did.
So.
If you didn't see it, be sure to go check it out. Watch it with your kids, and they'll ask you questions. It'll be a good jumping off point to talk. I mean, these two, you look at them, they're very attractive. They're in great shape. They look like all American. And Brandon was living homeless on the streets of Baltimore. So it's serious. So check it out. Well, back to the news, Kristin. Anne Arundel County has hired a new compliance officer. Her name is Alana Dennis, and she brings an impressive list of experience to the position. Dennis most recently served as Director of Equity Compliance at Bowie State University. Before that, she was an Assistant Attorney General and a Compliance Officer for several local health systems. Now, what does the compliance officer do, Kristin, you might wonder?
They comply.
They make sure everybody's complying. Well, I'll tell you, the compliance officer investigates and mediates workplace complaints of discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. She will also develop a robust training program for county employees. And she will also be my next door neighbor, Kristin.
Oh, now.
My work next door neighbor.
Your work next door neighbor.
She'll be sitting next to me.
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah. So good luck to you. Sorry.
Yeah, good
Sorry,
luck.
Alana,
Alana, if you need tips, call me.
Yeah, I have to apologize in advance for that. Sorry.
Rein it in,
Sorry.
Abrams.
Sorry.
Well, Dave, you guys were busy little bees with the Facebook Live this week. Did you break the internet?
We broke the internet
Did you?
so many times. Yes, we did.
Very good. Well, County Executive Steve Schuh joined the fun as well. On Wednesday, he took questions live on Facebook from constituents. Here's a clip.
Let's see, from Kat. Thanks for doing this on Facebook. Will you be doing it more? No, I've had it. Never going to do it again. No, I'm kidding. I think this is a great way to communicate. We try to use multiple avenues to communicate with our citizens. We hear from people by email, letters to the editor, angry phone calls, all kinds of things. But Facebook's important, and I appreciate your taking the time to be on this program.
Nice job by Steve. He's getting pretty good at this television, internet, Wi-Fi thing, right?
Yeah, you don't need to tell them.
Oh, okay.
You don't need to know.
Mum's the word. Again, you can go to our pages and watch the archive video if you missed it.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll talk to Jana Davis and Jeff Popp from the Chesapeake Bay Trust. Take a look at our community calendar for events happening around town, and we'll be right back.
You made your house a reality. Homeschooling yourself on loans, color-coding listings, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. If you can ace house hunting, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
Well, welcome back. We are delighted to have in the studio with us today Ms. Jana Davis and Mr. Jeff Popp with Chesapeake Bay Trust. You know you've heard of them before. We're going to get down into the nitty-gritty of what it is that CB Trust does. I think a lot of people have seen the Bay plates on the back of cars, but talk to us about what Chesapeake Bay Trust is all about, Jana.
So the Chesapeake Bay Trust is an organization that provides grants for large and small as $50 and as large as a couple $100,000 for people who want to do projects on the ground or educating their citizens about Chesapeake Bay awareness, restoration, and protection.
And what are your positions at Chesapeake Bay Trust?
I'm a senior program officer, so I work with Arundel County, Montgomery County, and EPA Green Streets grant, which is Bay-wide.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm the director, so I get to think about license plates all day long.
Yeah, tell us about the license plates. What are the benefits of getting the Bay plate?
Well, there's so many benefits to the Bay plate. So the predominant source of funds to the Chesapeake Bay Trust, our backbone, is really the Bay plate. There's also a tax checkoff on your Maryland state income tax form. But we take the funds that come from the Bay plate program, the blue Chesapeake Bay license plate that has the heron and the crab. They have names, Wade and Claudia.
I did not know. Claudia's the crab.
That's Claudia, right? Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yep.
I think that's what I have.
Claudia. Oh my gosh. That's
Get it?
That's what I have,
Right,
Claudia.
Yes.
Yes, and so folks buy the plates for a lot of reasons. They're pretty, they look great on cars, and they also support good projects. We take the funds from those Bay plates and we put them right back out the door in grants, and we're very efficient. We're known for our efficiency. We keep a little bit of it to run the organization, and we really try to get as many grants to nonprofits, schools, faith-based groups, homeowners associations for projects like putting trees in the ground, sending kids out on field trips. If you have a child, adult or child still, who's been out on a field trip with their school, most likely to a Chesapeake Bay or water-related experience, most likely it was funded in some way by the Chesapeake Bay Trust.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And it's so easy to get one of those Bay plates, and in my opinion, the prettiest of the Maryland license
Thank you, we
plates.
appreciate
so
that.
You should get one if you don't have one. Last week you guys announced $500,000 in grants to help protect about 137 acres of forest in Anne Arundel County. Talk to me about some of the projects.
Sure. So our Anne Arundel County Forestry and Forested Land Protection Grant Program has a really pretty simple goal. It's to increase the amount of tree canopy in Anne Arundel County. And we can do that by 3 ways. So one is you can plant trees on property that's already protected. So we provide funds for that. We provide funds to protect land that's already forested, which is the 500 acres or the 137 acres you're talking about. And then we also have an option where you can look at properties that are not currently forested. You can put them under protection and then plant trees. Wow. So there's 3 different ways you can get into the program, and funds are provided through the county, through their Forest Conservation Act money, to put these properties under protection. And that preserves the ecological services of these forests, the water quality, the habitat value, the shade, the air pollution control. It provides a multitude of benefits to the communities that surround them. And so we protected 137 acres with our first round of this program last year. One of the coolest projects, I think, is the Tracy's Landing project in Herring Bay. This is about 28 acres in Tracy's Landing, Maryland, that it contains the headwaters of Herring Bay. And so we went out there with the county and Scenic Rivers Land Trust and looked at this property, and it was so wild that we got lost. And so it was interesting.
Do you have GPS?
What's that?
GPS?
Well, we didn't get really. We had it on our phones, but that doesn't work when there's no service.
Right.
But we did. We were in and out of service, so we did find our way back. But it's really neat that the landowner cared enough to put that property under easement, and so that will be protected forever.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a real quick, just a point of information for people who don't know. The money that you are passed through from the county, where does that money come from?
So developments, when they're taking down trees, they have to put trees back. And
Right.
so if they can't put the trees back, that money goes into a fund called the Forest Conservation Act. And that funding is passed through the Chesapeake Bay Trust and other organizations to put those trees back into the ground. And so one of the acceptable uses for that is protecting land that already has trees on it. And it's actually a really good use because it's cheaper to protect an acre than it is to plant an acre when you look at it. So it's a really good use of the funds.
Well, we're trying very hard to figure out creative ways to spend this money, because it turns out that across the state, a lot of jurisdictions have this account building up and they're not finding enough avenues to spend it. So we're aggressively trying to do that. Tell me about, say I'm a property owner, just for the sake of argument, since it's an easy one, I'm in South County, I have a property that's been in the family for a long time. Give me your quick pitch on, your sales pitch on why I should join this program.
Sure. So other than the tax, when you put your land under conservation easement, you get a multitude of tax benefits, but there's also that conservation value. And so all of the properties that came in for our grant program, they had a conservation reasoning for the property. And so they wanted to keep it, whether it was in the family, it's been in the family for years, they don't want to see it change or developed in the future. So they can go through this program. They still get to own the property, but they get a financial incentive to put it under protection. And it is forever. But that property stays exactly the way Mom and Pa would have wanted it forever.
So if there's a family home,
Yeah.
maybe even a couple other homes on the property, you still qualify, and it just has to stay the way it is.
Exactly. It has to stay the way it is.
I think that's important for people to understand.
Sure. So it has to stay the way it is, or you can negotiate anything you want to do on the property with whoever's holding that conservation easement ahead of time. But once it's in writing, and it's final. And so you have to really work with your land trust or whatever organization you're working with to do the easement early on to make sure it works for you and it works for the property owner as well.
So it just so happens it's a great time for us to have you here on the show. You have an informational session coming up. Can you tell us the details of that?
Sure. So on September 28th, the Scenic River Land Trust is hosting an event to kind of explain the program, talk about the benefits of conservation easements. Even if you don't go through the Chesapeake Bay Trust, like I said, there's a lot of tax benefits to putting your property under conservation easement. And so this information will be put out there. Anybody can come to it. It's a nice event. We went last year, and they provide a nice little bit of breakfast.
Ooh, there's food.
Yeah, there's food involved.
Kristin.
Yep, there's
We're
food
in.
involved.
We don't own that much property, though.
I know.
Right.
I know. I got a car.
But it's a nice way to.
Your car cannot be reforested or conserved.
No, but I just wanted to go for the food.
Well, come and learn about the program as
Yeah.
well. And if you have ideas about properties that you think should be put under protection or people, definitely send them our way.
Oh, just take my parents.
There you go.
There we go.
The Mama Lagana and Papa Lagana,
Yeah.
they might want to do it.
I
They live in
think
Davidsonville, so
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
it's a possibility.
Yeah.
And you can keep the pool.
Yeah.
They can keep the pool.
They can keep
Yep,
it
whatever's there now stays. Yep.
I love it. I love it.
Yep.
So if folks want to stay up to date or have any questions about the grant and want to get more information or follow up with what you guys are doing at CB Trust, what are some ways that they can get in touch with you, either at the office or social media?
We love to talk to people who have potential grant ideas. And as we mentioned, this is one of about 14 different grant programs that we run. So this program, of course, is a partnership with the county. But the other 13 grant programs that we run have different partners, and some of them are fully funded by the Bay Plate that we talked about earlier. Some are fully funded, like this one, by partners. In any case, we'd love to talk to anybody who has project ideas. It's easier for everybody, really, both the applicant and the trust, to talk through ideas up front. So call us. We always say, call us, call us, call us. All of our grant program officers and all of our staff really are on our website, cbtrust.org. Email us. We also have a Facebook and a Twitter account, so please look us up and follow us on both of those avenues. And other ideas that you have for us to be out in the community, we really would love to hear from constituents.
You've got a hashtag, right? Everyone's got a hashtag. It's hashtag CB Trust.
CB Trust.
Yeah.
I think
And,
so. Yeah.
Very
and
good.
that was a good point that there's a lot of programs. You even have a program that involves community tree plantings, correct?
Absolutely.
That's-
If you want
that's
to do
I didn't know
small
about that one.
project, right,
Yeah.
and this is also another partnership with Anne Arundel County and the Anne Arundel Forestry Board. If you are, say, a faith-based organization, a church, and you have property or a mosque or a temple or anything, a homeowners association, and you want to put some trees in the ground, you think it would improve your air quality, your quality of life, your water quality.
Appearance.
We have appearance, absolutely. A lot of main streets, business districts all around the state, all around the country really, are realizing that if they green their downtown business communities, it actually improves how businesses do on that street. So there's a lot of benefits to trees. Energy, we could talk about this forever. But if you have a small patch and you want to reforest it and sort of serve as a demonstration type of project, we have grants up to $2,500 for that. So you don't have to do a huge $100,000 grant. You can do a $2,000 project, and we want to make sure everybody can be included.
There's options.
Lots of options.
That's a great way to get kids involved as well.
Yeah.
So you
Absolutely.
can get the community involved.
Kids
have
know
a
what-
tree planting.
Kids know what's up.
They know what's up.
Yep.
Oh, well, thank you guys so much for coming on the show this week. It was a lot I learned a lot. You
Absolutely,
learned a lot.
yes.
And of course, we need to be replanting more trees.
And
this
call
is
them up.
very important.
Call them up and come
Call
up
them
with
You
some
have
ideas.
questions, You got grant ideas, call them up. So,
Absolutely.
Well, thank you guys so much. Come back to the show anytime, and we'll be right back with more Week in Review right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.
Welcome back. The public library recently held a Narcan training session for the public to learn how to resuscitate people who overdose. Michelle Corkadell was there and filed this report. Michelle?
Thanks, Dave and Kristin. I'm here with Jasmine at Anne Arundel County Public Library's Administrative Headquarters, where today the librarians are going to be receiving their first in a series of training exercises for something called Narcan. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, Jasmine, what is this program, what is Narcan, and why is it so important?
Okay, Narcan is actually a drug used for opioid overdose, and when a person overdoses, there's 3 different types of Narcan that can be used, and it restores the person's breathing when they do in fact overdose.
Well, that's very important to Anne Arundel County residents, as you are well aware, and myself.
Yes.
We face an ever-increasing population that have become addicted to opioids.
Yes.
In a variety of forms, too, correct?
Yes. So this Narcan actually comes in 3 forms: intranasal, intramuscular, and intravenous. The ones that I distribute is the intranasal form, so it's a nasal Narcan spray. It's very easy to administer. All of them are effective in the same way. But like I said, this one is a lot more easy to administer.
So tell me, many of the county employees, particularly our librarians in the focus right now, are receiving this training. And is this available to the public as well?
Yes, this is actually a free training. We offer it at HSB, so on Truman Parkway Health Department, as well as Langley Road Health Department, twice a month. It is free for anyone in the community. We encourage that everyone comes out and takes this training so that we can get more out into the community and lower this epidemic.
And this definitely saved lives, folks, because as we know, in addition to our safe stations, which you've been hearing about, and the Not My Child, which went on Facebook Live this week, very exciting. We had lots and lots of viewers, interactive viewers, and they're still checking in, as a matter of fact. But this is just another tool in the toolkit that we're going to need to get this under control. And so today you are training the librarians. Why is it important to train our library staff?
Well, I think it's important to train staff all over because you never know where an opioid overdose can take place. It can take place anywhere. There's no specific location, so it's important that we train these community members so that if they do, in fact, have to respond to an opioid overdose, they're trained and they know how to respond to it and what to do in that emergency.
And so which website can the residents use to get more information on training for themselves?
You can go to our local website, Anne Arundel County Department of Health, and go on there and look on the side, and you will see the available trainings that are free. All trainings are free, and we do come out to different organizations and do the trainings for free as well.
And I suspect that the librarians, because it's a public area, just like we occasionally work with homeless that will frequent public libraries, I suspect that this is a good way for them to be able to enable them to respond when something should occur, if it were, God forbid.
Right.
So, any last words that you wanted to share with the folks concerning what they can do in a proactive manner to prevent this disease of addiction from continuing to spread?
So we just encourage that everyone come out and get trained. Like I said, you don't have to get a prescription from your doctor or a certificate anymore. You can purchase this drug over the counter at your local pharmacy. And we just encourage that, you get this and help save a life.
And will you be having additional training opportunities for our library staff?
Yes, we will have an additional training, I believe, at the end of this month. And that's it.
So how many librarians will be trained today?
There will be about 15 to 30 librarians today and the same number at the end of the month.
Well, it sounds like we're definitely making progress in a very challenging situation. Thank you so much for joining me, Jasmine.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Thanks, Michelle. This is just one more tool that we have to fight this problem.
Yeah, nice job, Michelle. I got to learn how to do the Narcan.
You haven't done it yet? I haven't done a training yet
I
either.
don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah.
So I understand you were at a very nice event this
Speaking
weekend
of
that I was not at.
Not a weekend. It was on Tuesday. It was
Tuesday.
the annual Community Helpers Day that they have at the Annapolis West Street Branch Library. I went in and someone recognized me from our little smart table thing that we did.
That's what we did too.
That's what we did.
That's what we did in the
it
cut.
there.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
So we love the library.
We love the library.
And they're going to get a new West Street, a new library.
Yeah.
They're going to build a new one.
But this one, oh my gosh, the parking lot was filled when I had gotten there to set up. I mean, they don't mess around with this event. And it was my first time going, and it's community helpers. So they bring in police, fire, recycling.
Are you a community helper?
I guess.
I think you are.
Helping encourage people to recycle. The Anne Arundel County branch of SPCA, they have bakers from local bakeries, just all kinds of people that you don't think about that are helping the community.
So why do you think it was packed?
It's just a really fun
Annapolis?
thing to do with your
kids. It was a nice day?
Yeah, it's a fun thing to do with your kids during a weekday. And everyone had lots of fun freebies and
Shout out to Christine Feldman, the PIO with the mostest over at library.
Laura Lieberman put this together. So
Laura
shout out to
Lieberman,
her.
shout out.
Shout out.
Laura Lieberman.
Sweet Frog was there.
Sweet Frog, we like Sweet Frog.
Louis from the Bay Sox was there.
No,
Yeah, Louis was
stop
walking around
it.
like he owned the joint.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Well, thank you for doing that. You're a really good community helper.
Really cute story, just real quick.
Okay.
U.S. Coast Guard was there with a black lab named Rosie. She's 12. She had the gray.
Aw.
She loves gardening. She's retired now. She likes to check the tomato plants every morning and then make sure she's there for the watering at the end at the evening when they water the plants. So she has to be present and check every single one.
Does she dig it up or?
No, she sniffs and just makes sure everything's copacetic.
That's cool.
She's awesome. So there were 3 dogs there. A canine with the police, the canine unit, so German Shepherd, I didn't get the name.
Right.
There was a pit bull with the SPCA, and then Rosie, the black lab. And
Just a bunch of warm and cuddly dogs there.
Can I tell
Pit bull
you
and
how
canine.
hard it is to compete next to the booth that has the dog?
Yeah, you can't.
I can't.
Forget
I'm like,
it.
Hey, anybody want a water bottle? No.
Nobody cares.
Nothing
There's
with
a
4
dog.
legs.
Nope.
So-
It's like Comfort the police dog. You just can't win.
You can't win. But it was a great event. So maybe next year the Week in Review will come out and do a field report.
Very good. I look forward to it. I can't wait. Community helpers.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode and archive episodes online anytime on Facebook or YouTube by simply searching for Arundel TV. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around the county, and we'll see you next time.